How's it going, guys? So today I will be making a video on what not to do. This video, if you listen to every single tip, you will be able to set yourself up for failure investing in Pokemon. So basically, I just want to do a bit of a reverse psychology. I can tell you what to do, but it's also really good saying what not to do, but telling you to do it so that you can kind of rewire your mind thinking this is what to avoid, and if I avoid it, then I'm doing fine. So yeah, anyways, I don't really want to waste your time, so I'm just going to get straight into it. I just want to quickly say though, thank you guys so much for the support. I was from like 3 subscribers to like 61 in like a couple days, so thank you guys so much for the support. Anyways, let's get to it. Okay, so I've got a list of 12 things I want to mention. I'm going to rapid fire through these. However, it gets more and more important the further it goes on. So if you want to fail the most in investing, make sure to stay till the end because I'll be listing some key points in order to just ruin your portfolio of Pokemon. Alright, so the first thing is buying light played copies. This one isn't too bad, but buying light played copies you just shouldn't. If you're confident in a card, always put the extra coin to invest in a near mint copy. I don't really need to say more to it. It's just light played copies appreciate less, statistically percentage wise, than near mint copies, but also they're harder to sell because it's really good when you have a minty copy, and you could even grade it yourself. So buying minty copies is the way to go. Do not buy a late played copy. Alright, so number 11 is buying Fossil or Jungle. It's literally as simple as that. It's those two sets. They are dead. They don't move. They're dead in the water. They're overprinted. No one's opening them. They suck. Fossil is a little bit better, but if you're going to buy Fossil, just buy base set. People actually open up base set and that can tick up. It hasn't ticked up in like 5 years, but you never know. It could go to 100k a box next year. We don't know. All right, next, number 10 on the list is buying cards that just went up in price. Buying boxes. There's nothing wrong with buying boxes that just went up in price. You can see Evolving Skies. You can see there's still a lot of strength at 2.5 or 3k a box. But singles, there's no promise. There's no reassurance. It may be that price and it's possible that it'll never reach that price again. Unlike boxes, singles is a inflationary supply while sealed boxes is a deflationary supply. So buying cards that just pumped is a terrible idea because it could be the last time they go up. Alright, number 9, next on the list is buying premium boxes. So this goes for heavy hitters, this goes for legendary treasures, this goes for tins, this goes for anything that's just shitty. If you want to invest in a set, buy a booster box, buy blisters, buy check lane blisters, buy elite trainer boxes. Do not buy these premium collection boxes. And the reason is because with legendary treasures, say someone is after Lost Origin, another person is after Aspirant, and another person is after Silver Tempest. They don't want to buy the whole box. They're not going to pay market value of every single individual pack times however many packs is inside, and then that's the price. No, they always want a discount. They always want to undermarket. And the reason is because someone is chasing the Giratina, someone is chasing the Lugia, someone is chasing the Machamp. No one's chasing all three, so then someone's not going to buy all three. They're going to want all Lost Origin. They're not going to want some Lost Origin, some Silver Tempest. So buying premium collection boxes is hard to move, it's big, and it doesn't appreciate that well. Alright, next on the list, which is number 8, is buying Japanese or just other languages. You can buy Japanese products for the short term, but this is specifically the long term, being more than like 3 years. The reason why I would never recommend to buy these boxes for the long term is because once they reach a certain point, people don't really want to buy them. And the reason why people buy Japanese boxes is because English is too expensive. You can buy an Evolving Skies booster box for $2,500 or 3k, or you can buy a Japanese box for $700 or $600. So the problem is that Japanese doesn't appreciate because the reason why people buy Japanese is because it's cheap. So then if it becomes expensive, no one wants it. Now, if Terrestrial Festival gets a reprint tomorrow and goes to $90 a booster box, it's a buy. I would say it's a buy, but not long term. Do not take what I'm saying out of context. Long term, not short term, long term. More than 3 years or 4 years. Look at any Sword and Shield set and then look at the Jap set. Yes, the Jap has gone up, but the Sword and Shield English version has just gone up so much more. So do not buy any other languages for long term, only buy English. You want to tap into something... Holy crap, my throat got so dry. Anyways, buying into new sets. You should not buy into new sets. And the reason is because they still have plenty of time for reprints. You should buy Paldea Evolved. You should buy Sky and Violet Base. You should buy Silver Tempest, Astral Radiance. Okay, actually, do not buy Astral Radiance. You can buy older sets. Don't tap into the new stuff. The new stuff, you can buy Surging Sparks if you want to, but why buy Surging Sparks when you can just buy 151? 151 came out like 13 months before Surging Sparks. So why tap into Surging Sparks? You can if you want, but then you're going to be waiting longer to start seeing some returns. You're way better off buying older sets versus sets that just came out. Alright, number 6 on the list is selling your holdings to buy new positions. This is a big no-no. If you buy a booster box, you need to commit to holding it. You can't sell it. If you buy Evolving Skies, of course there is a limit to that. Say this goes to 10k a box, I don't blame you if you sell it. But if you buy Paldea Evolved for $350 and then it goes up to $400 and you're thinking, you know what, I've made some profit, I'm going to lock in and buy something else. Don't do that. But even worse, don't sell something at a break even or take a lost price just to get a position on a new item. If you don't have the spare capital to own both of those, then there's no harm in just waiting. Selling one position to enter a new position is just terrible. You don't want to do that. If you buy a Paldea Evolved booster box, you're not going to want to sell it until it starts to appreciate. Maybe it doubles in price or it triples in price. But the last thing you want to do is sell Paldea Evolved to buy Evolving Skies, and then 2 weeks later you see a YouTuber talk about SPCs, so then you buy SPCs, and then another YouTuber talks about booster bundles, so then you buy booster bundles. You need to keep your capital strong. Make sure you can jump on opportunities without having to sell your current position, because if you have to sell your current position, you've just cooked investing as a whole. Alright, next is number 5. So we are approaching the top 5 list. As I said before, these get more and more important as they go on. So you need to listen to this top 5. So number 5 is buying Elite Trainer boxes. Now, out of every single set from Sword and Shield to now, the only Elite Trainer box that has beat the booster box in price is Obsidian Flames. That is the only box, and it is about to get overtaken by the booster box. The Elite Trainer box MSRP is like $90. Now it's about $200, so it's done about a 2.2x. The booster box MSRP is like $200, and it's almost $400. So that is the only Elite Trainer box. Unless it has a magical, amazing promo, don't buy the Elite Trainer box. Just buy the booster box. And no, this is not including holiday sets. Holiday sets is its own market. That's its own thing. I'm talking about main sets. Alright, next on the list is buying short printed sets. Do not buy a set because there's a small supply. Okay, so Rebel Clash and Sword and Shield base were short printed and they have stagnated. So Sword and Shield and Rebel Clash have been about $500 each for a good 2 years now. And the reason why they haven't moved is because there's no demand. Yes, there is a small supply, but there is no demand. Let's take a look at Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies was one of the most printed sets at the time. Evolving Skies got restock after restock after restock, and it still remains strong. Let's look at 151. 151 is a set that has been reprinted and reprinted and restocked and restocked. There's constant restocks and constant reprints over and over and over and over and over again. But it stands the test of time because it's a hot set, because people want to open it. If the supply of a booster box of a short printed set is 500 booster boxes, and then you've got an overprinted set that's 2,000 booster boxes, but people actually open up the set with 2,000 booster boxes, then that set supply is going to match that short printed set eventually. The only difference is one is designed, one is not. So if you're going to buy a set purely because it's short printed, that's a great way to just scuff your entire portfolio. Alrighty, number 3, we're reaching the top 3. These are my favorite picks. Whenever people ask me for tips, I always tell them this. It's my favorite picks. Number 3, this is a controversial one, but do not buy underrated sets. Now, underrated sets don't really make sense. Okay, a set comes out, people like it, or they don't. Now, there's a few reasons why someone might not like it. Say the Team Rocket set coming out, Destined Rivals. People are pissed off because they had higher expectations, and then they were disappointed. Now, it's sort of stupid because I feel like no matter what the card's artwork would have been, they still would have complained. Like, if I'm being honest, the artworks are fine, the Moltres is fine, the Mewtwo is fine. In fact, I would be willing to bet in 1 year's time, people are going to be frothing over that set and they're going to go, oh my goodness, this is the best thing before sliced bread. Because the thing is that people can't make up their mind until like a year goes by and it kind of settles in. Take Paldean Fates, for example. Paldean Fates, the Bubble Mew went from $200 to like $600 because people are like, you know what, this is really good. And people really like Paldean Fates. Now, that's not what I'm talking about. What I am talking about is sets that are just stupid, like Paradox Rift, Temporal Forces, Scarlet and Violet Base, Rebel Clash. What else have we got? Obsidian Flames. They're not good sets. They're lukewarm. They're weak. There's nothing good about them. The best example of a set that was hated until it was loved is Fusion Strike. I don't know if you guys could see it. Fusion Strike. Now, the thing about Fusion Strike is that it has a Mew, it has Gengar, it has Espeon. So, yes, people didn't like it, but the reason why people didn't like it was because the ports were really bad. No one wanted to open it up. Now, people say that no one liked this set, but that's just bullshit. That's not true at all. It's just the fact it was not fun to open up. It was not pleasant to open up. But people still loved the Gengar. People still loved the Espeon. People still loved the Mew, the Genesect, the Celebi, the Rainbow Mew. People loved this set. Like, I don't know why people act like no one liked it. That's not true whatsoever. That is not true. It's just, it was boring as hell to open up because you literally get nothing. So when I say investing in a new set, I'm talking about sets with new Pokemon. I'm talking about sets with weak artworks. I'm talking about sets that aren't that large. I'm talking about sets with easy pull rates. Those kind of sets. Paradox Rift is a wonderful example. People say Paradox Rift is underrated. Oh, it has really good artworks. It has the Groudon. Yes, you are right. But do you really think someone is going to crack boxes chasing the Groudon when everything else is shit? Evolving Skies, right? Say you're chasing the Dragonite. Okay, cool. You're chasing the Dragonite, but at least you can pull out that shit. At least you can still have a fun time opening it. The problem about Paradox Rift is that if you don't pull that Groudon, everything else is just lukewarm. Everything else is just boring. Do you see what I mean? Like, buying underrated sets is stupid. You can see 151 is popular. You can see Evolving Skies is popular. You can see Prismatic Evolutions is popular. So why do you go against the wave and then buy these shitty sets no one cares about? It's just pointless. It's like, it's almost like a who asked moment. It's so, it's uncalled for. You can just buy a hot set. Like, we all know Prismatic Evolutions is going to do well. We all know 151 is going to do well. So why do you have to go against the wave and go for Paradox Rift? That's just a complete dud of a set. Like, no one cares about it. Maybe people care about it in 10 years because the Roaring Moon becomes the next Charizard. Okay, that's cool, but let's be real, you're going to be wrong more than right. Like, maybe Temporal Forces will do well, but Swordshield Base will never do well, Skull and Violet Base will never do well, Rebel Clash will never do well. Astral Radiance, it's an underrated set. It stayed underrated. Like, how long will it be underrated? Because if it stays underrated until the sun explodes, it just wasn't a good set. Like, underrated means that it's better than what people think. But if no one thinks that, then it was never underrated. It was just a bad set. Like, I hope that makes sense. Once again, do not take what I'm saying out of context. Buying sets with new Pokemon or lukewarm artworks, those are shitty. Buying Fusion Strike because no one liked opening it because it was too hard to pull the chasers. That's a little bit different. People always love this set. It was never underrated. That never happened. It was just annoying to open up because you'd get nothing. Alrighty. Number 2. Now, this one, once again, is controversial. So if you hate this video, make sure to dislike it. Anyways, lining up for hours on end. Now, once again, do not take what I'm saying out of context. If you've got SPCs, if you've got UPCs, if you've got, I don't know, booster boxes, that's a bit of a different story. What I mean, not specifically lining up, but what I mean is trying so hard, I mean so hard, to save like $20 on a box. When 151 booster bundles were $60 each, there were people dead ass driving around, using fuel, using time, just to get nothing, or maybe get 1 or 2 booster bundles so they could save like $20 a booster bundle. If you line up and you don't match the minimum wage, you're wasting your time. And most people don't factor fuel. Most people don't factor the food that they get out. Most people don't factor the coffee instead of making it themselves because that costed like an extra $6. Fuel costed $5. Time costed them however much. You can line up if you'd like, but like 151, right? You can buy a display for, I don't know, $950, $1,000. Okay, that's cool. Or you can go out and try and hunt it, but if that takes like hours on end, if you have to line up, like a booster bundle is $80, right? Why would you line up and go through all this just to save like $30 or $40? You're way off just buying the market and then just working more hours. Now, I think people do this because they enjoy it and then they try to justify it being worth it. And I do that. I enjoy going out. I like talking to people in the line. I like yapping. That's literally why I made a YouTube channel, because people call me a yappuccino. I literally like talking about this stuff. So I'll go in public and talk to people about it. But I'm not going to line up for 3 hours for one booster bundle. I was happy to line up for like 8 hours for this guy. But matching minimum wage, you make like $25 an hour. If you decide to sell it, I didn't decide to sell it because it's a very cool display and I wanted to hold on to it. But that is worth it. But lining up for like 3 hours to save $30, like, dude, that is bad. Now, that's a controversial one, so do not take what I'm saying out of context. Alrighty, number 1. Buying into new sets. Didn't I already say that? Wow, I am really stupid. I just realized that was number 1. Yeah, I just checked my list. That's literally number 1. Technically, it's number 2 on my list, but my first one is buying into new sets, which I literally have here. So, yeah, I guess that's number 1. So, hey, it's a pretty good advice in my opinion. Don't line up. It's not worth it. Anyways, well, that's going to do it for today's video. Please do not take out of context for what I'm saying. All of this can be taken out of context, and you can have the most skewed view on me. If you want to do that, I've already said not to. So, if you're going to do it anyway, that's your choice. But yeah, thank you for watching.